I want to say hi to all my YouTube fans, I call them fans, but anybody that ever watches my YouTube videos, I want to tell you what has happened in the last 2 months. I haven't posted anything, but I'm still alive, and I say it because I came really close to being dead. I had a pulmonary artery dissection, and I never knew these things actually happened. I've heard of heart attacks, and I've heard of other stuff, but not this. And apparently, a large part of my aorta, ascending aorta, began to shred. They call it shred. And I had been lifting some heavy pots, concrete pots and stuff like that. And we think maybe that's when I strained it to the point of beginning to rupture. But in the middle of the night, almost a couple months ago, maybe 8 weeks ago, 2 o'clock in the morning, I felt this terrible pain down my throat and running down into my chest. And it's the worst pain I'd ever had in my life. And I've had some pretty bad pain. This one, oh my God, what is happening? And I thought it was a cramp at first, because once in a while I get cramps at night, especially in the summertime. Lose a lot of water to the 92 degrees and 90% humidity outside. But digress. So terrible pain. And I got out of bed, and Lee asked me, my wife asked me, "Hey, honey, what's going on?" I couldn't even talk. I said, I'm in such pain. I ended up on the floor, writhing in pain, and I was able to say, "Need to call 911." And so the ambulance came, and the fire trucks at like 2:30 in the morning, and they scraped me off the floor, and they took me to Sarasota Memorial Hospital. And I explained how bad it hurt and all that. And it turns out that I didn't have a CT scan for many hours. I can't remember how many. Might have been like 5 or 6 hours before I had a CT scan. And when I had the CT scan, all of a sudden these docs come in, and nurses and docs and people, and they're kind of running around with their eyes really wide open. Oh my God. And they say, "Oh, Mr. Koniger, you got a really serious problem here, and we got to do something about it. We got to get you into surgery immediately." I'm thinking, oh my God, what? Okay. So do your thing, because you're the licensed, trained, bonded, etc. professionals. So what am I going to say? No, you can't do that. No, these are the pros. Okay, pay pros. That's what you think? Let's go for it. They said, but we need to find a hospital and people that can do this surgery and that have bed space and stuff. I'm thinking, oh, really? This is Sarasota Memorial Trauma Center 5A Division 1, top of the heap, you know, best of the best, yada, yada, yada. And they can't do it. And they said they came back in after a while, and they said they had contacted Miami, Naples, Orlando, Jacksonville, Sarasota, and they found the hospital, the system that would do it. And it was not Longboat Key, not Logan Key. It's an area just north of Clearwater, or south of Clearwater, in that area. What's the name of the hospital that I went to?
Largo Medical.
Largo Medical, thank you. Largo Medical. It was Largo Medical. I'm thinking, I didn't even know who that is, really didn't strike a bell. So, who am I to say no? And they said, we're going to have the helicopter come and take you there. And I had a friend recently who had a heart attack, and I took him to the hospital there, and they bay-filleted him on helicopter to the main office of the hospital, Sarasota Memorial, in downtown Sarasota, and that was cool. And here I was going to get another helicopter ride, and I'm kind of not making fun of it, but not taking it seriously. I'm singing Elvis, "Baby, let me be your loving teddy bear," stuff like that. I'm doing this, entertainment shtick to the nurses, and the helicopter pilot comes in, and they wrap me up and take me out. I'm starting to make friends with him, and we're shooting the shit, and he's a cool guy, and I'm singing Elvis and all that, and it took me, I think 30 minutes to get to Largo. And when I got there, they just immediately took me off of the helicopter right into the OR. I go, wow. I'm just, my buddy, when they did it, he said when he got off the helicopter in Sarasota and they're all rushing around, he says, gee whiz, I only went to the hospital for vasectomy. So we're always joking around and not taking the serious things too seriously, so we can maintain our edge, because we're macho guys that have a sense of humor, even under attack and so forth. So, pilot says, when we get you off this thing and push you out, keep your eyes closed, because it's a really sunny day and it's a bright day, and you'll be blinded by the light. And I'm thinking, blinded by the light, that song. And again, just everything is triggering something that's light and happy and stuff. And so, of course, I get off, and they're wheeling me. As soon as I get out of the helicopter, I'm going to open my eyes. And I did. Yeah, boy, I saw the light. Boom. There's all kinds of light. And but I didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I didn't see the light when you go to heaven. They wheeled me right into the hospital, the OR, right in there. The last thing I remember there is being flopped from the stretcher thing onto the operating table, and they have the sheets underneath you, and they have a whole bunch of tough guys and girls that lift you up and slam you over and they put my arms up, tie them down. See how we go? Tie meet kangaroo down. and before they put the mask on me to put all that knock you out stuff, gas or whatever, and bang, I'm gone. I'm not even finished the first bar. Baby, let me be. So I'm dead asleep. I have no idea what's going on. And apparently for the next 8 hours, they did this surgery. They crack you open from my chin to my navel, and got a great scar. I want to turn it into some kind of a bonsai motif. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to ask my friend Eric Weigert for some suggestions, because he's all tatted up, and I think this would be a great thing to do a tat, a big, beautiful tat. Anyway, so knock me out, and next thing I know, wake up, and it's like 8 hours later, and I've had 18 units of blood during the surgery. They've cut me wide open. They've sawed the breastbone down the middle. They've used retractors to reach in there and, like grab the edge of the rib cage and just bring it back so that they can expose the field of play, which they're going to play. And they put me on a life support system where they divert your blood and stuff, so they can have basically a bloodless field of surgery, and drop my body temperature to 28 degrees. And there I am, getting turned into not Big Elvis, but Big Frankenstein. And which is okay, because I think that's cool too, but I like Big Elvis. And so anyway, go through this thing for 8 hours and get back to intensive care. And the doctor tells me, well, he's still bleeding, and he says, you have a 50-50 chance of making it through this. And there I was in the freaking hospital with a 50-50 chance. Oh my God. This condition, when it hits you, apparently kills most of the people. Like only 10 out of 50, only 10 out of 100 or something like that. You can look it up. Internet has it all. Even survive from the time they have this thing hit until you get fixed, if you're close enough to a place that can even fix you. So, anyway, when I finally wake up, I look up and I see my family there, so many of my family members, and I go, what the F happened? What happened to me? Because they start to tell me, I'm going, oh my God, that's a big deal. That's nothing to sneeze at and be joking around, singing Elvis songs to the helicopter pilot. Oh, it's a big deal. This recording is getting to be like longer than anything I ever post, and I'm about to wrap it up. But anyway, I got through all this stuff, and I've been in a hospital for 17 days or something. I just came home yesterday, and my wonderful family, Janet, my daughter-in-law, Ryan, my son, Sweetie, my wife Lee, Kelly, and her friend Nicole, they're all so supportive here, taking care of the ducks and the birds and my bonsais, my babies, and all that. Just remarkable. My neighbors who drove Lee up to the hospital. It's just, I am so immensely thankful to all of you for helping to save my life, and I'm immensely thankful and agreeable, whatever, to this little hospital in Clearwater that I keep forgetting the name of, Largo Medical Center. And there's 3 guys in their cardiac system, I understand. One of them lives in Brazil, another one lives in Ohio, and the other one probably lives out of a van down by the river. Ha 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 ha. That's an SNL sketch. And they put together the most incredible place, the highest level quality people. It just shocks me how good they are, and then the detail of what they can do. And they fixed me up, and I was there for like three or 4 weeks, and finally got home last night, and I was so grateful. I'm thankful to God. And I don't know if I've ever told you, but I've never been really high on organized institutional religion, because there was an altar boy, and they taught me to say the Latin Mass, and the only thing I ever knew was to make the sounds Shishipiat Dominus Sacrificium de Manibus Glory ad utilitatem quaestrum, and so forth. I could go on and on. And this is a freaking high holy sacrament of Mass, and I'm a participant in it, and I don't know what the hell I'm saying. My little brother and me. But that's a story for another time. But anyway, I've been antagonistic toward institutional religions, but I believe so strongly that there is God. I was going to say a God, but you don't have to say a God, because there's not a God, there's God. And God, whoever he or she is, they doesn't have a gender, in my opinion. This is where my opinion starts coming in, because I have plenty of those. Whatever God is, God supplies mankind, us, and probably all, and certainly all the other people on, or aliens or creatures on all the other in all the other star systems with habitable life on some rock that travels around, orbits around that sun in an ever-expanding universe of billions and billions and billions and gazillion billion willion zillion gilgillion Carl Sagan stuff. The possibilities are endless, and if the possibilities are endless, there is no end to the number of other people, perhaps exactly like us, and perhaps nowhere near like us, and everything in between, that God supplies us all with toolkits and tools, and then we beat each other over the head with them as if they're hammers and axes that can be used for really good purposes, but some of us idiots use them to build weapons, and we end up with weapons of mass destruction and all that. And God's got to be pretty damn disappointed in us, because we took the things that he, she, or it gave us and misused them, and now we're trying to. Some of us, like Elon and Musk and Trump, who I have so much respect for now. I love the guy before, but I kept saying, if he'd only shut up about the things that make him sound like a stupid shit, if he'd do that, then who would vote against him? Who could be stupid enough to vote against him? And I was always afraid there were so many stupid people out there who could vote that somehow the stupid people would overwhelm the smart enough people who were smart enough to overlook his warts and thorns, like the stuff that we all have. And when his come out and you see him on video, it's like, oh, that's not presidential. And how can we possibly have somebody that follows in the footsteps of George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, who would say those really totally stupid things? And you stop and think about Jefferson had slaves, and it's like, I want to say, Tom, you're a smart guy. You were a smart, really smart guy. Did all kinds of really smart things, wonderful things. But how could you have had slaves, even if you treated them well? And you kept Sally down in the basement, and you go bunker once in a while, and she'd have babies, and there's a whole line of Sally Hemings babies and Thomas Jefferson bloodline. And if you stop and think about it, Tommy boy, that's a pretty bad dickhead thing to do. But you were also magnificent president of the United States of America, and your writings and stuff. And I see Trump that way. And he's such a cool dude and so magnificent as a leader. I mean, standing up, getting shot in the ear, and fight. What a wonderful, wonderful image of power and resolute, fearless, going into the lion's den thing to do. It's like Zach saying, not a Republican and all that, but boy, that was a badass move. And that's what you need in a leader. You need a badass leader and a badass person growing up, doing things out in the real world. Somebody's going to have remembered some embarrassing damn things. So anyway, I'm about to finish, but 24 freaking minutes. But I love you all out there, and everybody who's ever watched one of my videos. I do them. I don't monetize them. I do them because I love my hobby, and I so thank Eric and Andrea Weigert for providing. That's North Fort Myers, great website, Weigert's Bonsai, for providing me lessons and friendship over the years that has resulted in me having the ability to have an incredible garden that I like to take people tours on. And boy, that's ending a sentence with a double preposition or something like that. Well. So thank you very much for listening. If you've been to the end of this, know that I love everybody out there, and I'm happy. I feel incredibly blessed and incredibly good that I got through this thing. And it wasn't me, boy. I had nothing to do with it. I've been knocked out and run over like I was on the Indianapolis 500. And they just kept taking shots at me at 200 miles an hour, and bam, there's another little bump in the road they've run over. And I am still alive. Thank God. Thank God's people. Thank the people that used God's tools to bring me back to life a couple times. And it's not like I'm going to turn my life around, because I was a good guy all along. It's not like I'm going to stop robbing banks or raping babies or doing anything bad. These guys, by the way, that kidnapped the fella in New York City and tortured him for 3 weeks, as soon as I heard that this morning, they're trying to get his crypto address and stuff. As soon as I heard that this morning, I thought, man, that guy was kidnapped and going through that shit while I was in the hospital having my life saved by incredible people. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, incredible people. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll be back with a regular video as soon as I can. And I love you. And I love my little heart pillow that they left me with, that I hold on to. It's signed by all the people there at the hospital. And God, I just am so happy. Thank you. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.